What's up guys, today we'll be talking about Acend and why they dominated last week of EMEA ALGS. The things I will be covering in this video are drop spots, team synergy, team fighting ability, playstyle, team composition, and more. I will break down this team's macro and then break down each game and explain why they did well and why they didn't do well in some games. All sections I talk about will be timestamped in case you don't want to hear certain parts, so feel free to skip around or watch all of it. At the end of the video I will also give them a team rating for all the categories I talked about and then an overall rating of A through F, seeing how well they played. Let's get into the video. Okay, so first we're going to talk about drop spots and the difference it makes and where you choose to land at. So Acend is a zone team and this is the POI they choose to land at on Stormpoint. The reason why this is good for them is because they are a zone team. You see how if I draw a line right to the middle, horizontal and vertically, they're basically dead center. That means that no matter where the circle goes, they have a high chance of being close to it. They're still basically the same distance away no matter what. Compared to if these guys landed here, if zone goes anywhere on this side of the map, they're screwed. There's no way they're going to beat teams to those spots on north side of the map. So your starting POI makes a huge difference in the overall effect of your game. Now, do I think this is the best POI for zone on this map? No. You want to know why I think that? Because the beacon spawn rate. So if you land Zoo, which is what this middle POI is called, there's only one beacon potential here, unless you're crypto, then you can move out and try and hit one of these. So the best POI for zone would be, so they call this balls, this area right here. You have 3 beacon spawn rates and you are still center of the map. This is the strongest zone POI in the entire game for Stormpoint. So this team goes to the second best one in my opinion, so they still have a high chance regardless. So also, how does their team comp work from their POI? They play Newcastle, Watson, Valk, which is a zone comp. So that means that their best chance of doing well from a zone POI is by also having a zone comp too. And do I personally like their comp? No, I think that Newcastle doesn't offer much value. Watson is such a strong defensive legend that you can solo run her for all your defensive needs for your team. A good replacement besides Newcastle would be Seer or Horizon. You get a lot more use out of those characters. So for World's Edge, Acend plays from staging. Is staging the best possible zone POI? That could be argued, but it is definitely a strong one regardless. Remember, the most important thing about zone POI being good is if it meets in the middle of the horizontal and vertical axis. So Siphon, even though it's a huge POI, if you choose to play zone from it, is very strong. Landslide is very strong to play from too. Another important factor about playing from zone is having low loot at your POI but a high density of it. Density meaning high spawn rates for purple gear, etc. And that is why Siphon is one of the best POIs in the entire game. You can get triple perp very fast from this POI and a ton of kitted attachments too. So this is what the game 1 zone looked like. As we know, Acend lands Zoo, which is the middle POI with the dogs. So for this zone, their goal is to get underneath Stormcatcher and play the hillside and then dominate that side the entire game. Now, was this thought process correct? Yes, and you want to know why? It's because the way the zone is pulling, it is very low chances that it goes anywhere but underneath Stormcatcher. Now this is something that surprisingly don't see many pro teams do. They use their Valk ult to help them get to their spot faster.
Height is 3, right?
Yeah, it is. Left side is free. No, go right, go right.
Okay, go right.
They're gonna block us. They're gonna shoot us.
Good. Don't let them shoot you your white shield. You don't have angles.
Team block ulting.
Behind us, yeah.
Just making.
Take this spot. Let's take this spot together, okay?
Yeah. Set up.
Come. We need to go all together. Maybe close.
Now getting to the god spot was the hard part. Now the rest of the game is easy. You just hold your back and look for kills. Let's think about where Acend chose to play from. So Acend chose to play from up here, holding all of their back out. Is that the best possible place to play in the zone? I think it is definitely one of, if not the best spots. Playing from this side is hard because it's just a big dog pile on the side of the map since there's no cover anywhere. There's normally one team coming out from this choke and maybe one team coming from this side. So yes, Acend's game plan being to hold up here, preparing for it to be a booster open field zone, was definitely the correct call, and this is why they won this game.
From the top and shit.
Net.
I hit another.
Crack. Ball.
What the low?
Hold that.
Nice, I'm gonna check the back real fast.
They're fighting here.
Another team. They're fighting front.
Knock one.
They finished. There's another team. Boss, you're alone.
Play slow, play slow.
Crypt on the left.
Are they fighting?
No, it's a solo team. Solo team.
What is me? Dead.
Go, go, go,
50, yes.
go! Vamos, caralho!
So a lot of what people are wondering about for Ascend is, did they play well to deserve that win? And in my opinion, yes. They are a zoo team, which does have priority to that spot, but they rotated fast regardless, and then played it appropriately from there. So yes, they 100% deserve to win that game. So for game 2, their game plan was take the same exact rotation, except for this time, get into Thunderwatch instead.
This is probably free, no? Post.
Yeah, probably it is.
Guys, do you want to stay here and take the beacon?
I'm down, then we see if
Taking
I
cannon?
point all.
Yeah.
Yeah, take again. Cracks.
Win.
Okay, so this is where the games start becoming, is Ascend playing out of their mind, or are people just playing poorly? A team takes the booster in front of Ascend and lands at the building before them. The team could have held them out and forced them to not come to this building, but instead they go to roof and let Ascend just walk in and take the building. This is an example of the lobby being weak or a team just being super scared. So one thing that we noticed from Ascend is that they prioritize getting to the spot they want. They don't care if teams are trying to contest it. They don't care if there's teams looking at them. They will do what they have to get to the spot. From this point on, Ascend sat in this building until they weren't in anymore.
On the back. Okay, they're not pushing.
They're not
They're getting
doing it.
smashed in front of us, They're getting smashed here.
I'm
The
moving
team on the
closer.
left, we have Volkult on me. Volkult. Go.
Now, was Valkulting here the correct play? Yes, it was. If they walk in as a zone team, they are guaranteed to run into an edge team with more loot and a better fighting comp. They have no choice here but to Valkul and hope that they find a good spot.
Like, let them fight.
Look for opening.
Post here.
Pop your ulti, Telikash. So I can pop mine.
Ulti southwest. Yeah.
Ascend does a good job of being proactive here, making sure they get all their defensive utility down before they fight.
They have a smoke or whatever the fuck.
I'm gonna scan it.
Close right.
Oh, no, they're low.
All dead.
Swap.
I swap.
I'm 1 HP. Fuck, I don't have swap.
Oh, good. I'm gonna pop ultimate this later. I'm gonna have ulti again. Nice job, guys. No?
You pulse. You have to. It has to be you.
I'm going. Fuck it.
No,
Wish me luck.
Wait.
I also like this play. They have to do something to get across the zip, so they send Post across first and then Cashier and Newcastle walls onto him. Very good play.
How is no one playing here?
Crack valve.
Get all the kill.
Valve crack.
Actually,
So did Ascend play that game so well that no one else had a chance to win that game? No. In my opinion, Ascend should not have had any business winning that game. They weren't in zone, didn't pick a spot that was in game, made a Valkyrie play, walked in, and then played a spot that no one was playing at the very end to win the game. Did they have the best macro for that game? No. But did they adapt the best for that game? Yes. And that is why they ended up winning this game as well. So this is the zone for game 3. Where Ascend wants to go is to the building outside of Mills and also by dogs. They managed to get there without anybody contesting them as well.
Can we do? I don't think I want to go deep mill, because I think if we go mill, we're just gonna get griefed. Maybe the beacon building? It's gonna be good.
Can be even the bottom one. Yeah, sometimes.
No, it's not gonna be the bottom. Go stretch. Land yeah. Below.
Landing inside.
Blue shield. Gotta pick and put inside. Fence the bottom first post.
This game is another case of them just being in for every single zone and then just playing accordingly. There's not much thinking your team has to do when you're just in for a lot of the zones. This makes the consistency for Ascend really good.
And get kills in front. Just get kills in front, guys.
I'm up in the
Alright, team. Two dead.
Below me.
Focus on the rock. Focus on the rock, guys.
100 on that guy.
Okay, so let's look at this scenario. Ascend is on roof right now, there is a team below them, and there's a team on the far rock. The team that has the best chances for winning this game is the team on the far rock. They have the most cover and it pulls closest to them. So seeing this scenario, Ascend clearly only gets second here at best. But what happens is Ascend hesitates too much, And when they realize they need to jump down and kill this team for second, they've already taken too much damage, and it costs them their second place. What killed them the most here is the lack of proactiveness. There's no way they win from on top of roof, but it took them way too long to figure that out. From watching these last 3 games on Stormpoint from Acend, you can tell that their proactiveness to getting to the spot they want to play in all game is what's getting them their points. They always go to what they deem as God spot, and then just net a bunch of points from placement every game. Okay, so this is the zone for Game 4 of World's Edge. Now remember, staging is the POI they land on World's Edge, and this looks like to be a tree ending. Are you seeing a theme here? A lot of these zones for this tourney are really close to where Ascend's POI starts at. Now, does that mean that they're going to win every game for free? No, not at all. But that does mean that they have a high chance of winning off the rip just because of that fact. Here's Acend once again making good use of Valcode for rotations to speed up how fast they rotate around the map. So for World's Edge, they swap from Newcastle Valk Watson to Crypto Watson Valk. A little bit of a comp change, but basically you're achieving the same goal with both comps.
Go back, we're late, go back. Go bottom, maybe. No, yeah, go bottom. I can Valk from bottom. Here, on the van, on the tracks.
Here they see that the team where they wanted to play Valk ulted, so they go up top and continue to play that spot the rest of the game.
There is heroes. But
Hop in.
I'm going to cover. They're pushing you guys.
Sila.
Just go Watson. One on you guys. He pushed. Blood on. I cracked blood on low. Shoot him. He's pushing on you guys. Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest here. Acend should not have survived this. There is a Horizon team queuing up, throwing Horizon ulti onto a rock where 2 people are holding without a Watson gen. They throw 4 grenades on it, but way after the Horizon ult's already been thrown. The team pushing Acend coordinated this push horrendously. If it's a good team pushing Acend here, they should have died every single time. And here is Acend once again in ultimate god spot in game.
We need to go right. I'm going
We
right.
have to kill them. I'm gonna EMP them, guys.
You can space on me.
Bye on me. Crack.
Red flash.
They're crushed.
Come stick one.
I'm gonna heal.
I think it's solo.
Guys, last team.
It's solo.
I'm healing.
It's solo guys.
I'm going left.
Crack. Kill that motherfucker.
What HP?
That's the
Oh, guys.
So there's only one full team left plus a solo endgame, so Acend played accordingly to kill the full team and then capitalize on the solo. Did they play that game correctly? Yes. Should other teams have killed them or held them out? Also yes. What I'm starting to understand after watching this VOD is that Acend is a great team, but this lobby in specific was pretty weak. Okay, so for the Game 5 zone, this is a Trials RV house ending. Again, they are relatively close to getting to this god spot early, and that is one of the benefits of being one of the middle POIs in the map. I know I've mentioned this a bunch of times prior in this VOD, but I'm gonna have to repeat it again. People do not Valkyrie on rotation to get to spots. Valcode helps you advance your rotation by so much. You need to start doing it if you're not already.
Yeah, it seems like they're not gonna play tower.
Take tower, and I'm gonna crypto. Fuck.
So arguably, the best place to be in this zone is either Watchtower or the house where it's ending. Acend knows they can't get the house because Skyhook should be beating them there every single time. So instead, they go for Watchtower, which is guaranteed for them to take. When I say that this game was so easy for them, I'm not under-exaggerating. They played Watchtower side, had no teams walk up on them, and just held their back all the way until the game ended. The last 2 teams collapsed on each other and they just won for free. And that could be contributed to a weak lobby, or it could be contributed to Acend just playing the zone correctly. I think it's a combination of both.
Cracked flash.
Oh fuck, I didn't hit anything. They're
They're
playing
playing
on the van.
backside.
Are you fucking
Shoot
serious?
the Horizon flash.
Guys, go backwards.
Shoot the Horizon. Got the Horizon. Need to reload. Showing up here. There's a guy here.
Guys. They're all cracked, all back.
The guy on me. Nice.
Inside.
He's low.
I'm dead.
GG's.
Okay.
Hold on.
Again, such easy win, but they did also choose a good spot for this zone. Like I said earlier, a common theme for all these games is Acend just chooses a really good spot to play and win the game from. Is there not a lot of teams contesting them? Yeah, for sure, but they still are playing their spot very well. So this zone for Acend is actually a relatively hard zone. Fragment West, Epicenter, Climatizer, Skyhook, Survey, all those teams should beat them to this spot. So this is not a free game by any means.
And we fucked them.
They are not pushing them. They are not pushing them.
Go Lovka.
I think that building is free. Take the one on the right.
That building is free.
Take the one on the right.
So Acend walks into a building in Survey Camp for free. Now this was a good heads up play because they needed to get in, but where this zone is ending, this spot is not going to get them to endgame. So this is only the beginning of how this game is going to play out. So Acend wasn't in for endgame since it ended on the revive by choke. So now they have to make a Valkyrie play to continue the game out.
Oh, they're gonna take. We might be able to third party this.
No. Deeper, there. Fuck it.
We don't have Newcastle, bro.
Here. Fuck it. Just stay on the corner. Stay on my corner.
I actually respect Kashira a lot for making this call. He's telling his team, no, just trust me, let's just play here and make it work. We're not going to go for some crazy third party on the edge of zone. This was a good heads up play by Kashira here. I have a lot of problems with this play here. If Kashira's team just sits here and holds their back, they have a chance to get top 3 for sure. But instead, what they do is they go force the team in the best spot in this zone and try and wipe them. But this is a lose-lose scenario because no matter what, if you kill this team, why would other teams not want to walk up and fight for God spot as well? Pushing this team definitely ended their game and they could have possibly got first if they continued to play their game out from the spot they started. Here's how the points looked for the 3 World's Edge games. Alright, now I'm going to go through all the categories we talked about. I'm going to give Acend an A through F on where I think they fit in that category. So first is drop spots. I think that Acend has S tier drop spots on both maps. Staging and Zoo are very strong drop spots to give them a high chance of winning just off of landing there alone. Team composition. I am personally not a fan of Valkwatts and Newcastle. I think that comp is especially not good on Stormpoint. I think the Newcastle just doesn't have as much utility compared to Seer per se. Watson is such a strong defensive character that you don't need to double up by having another defensive character on the squad. So their Stormpoint comp, I have to give them like a B. For World's Edge, they play Crypto, Watson, Valk. And again, I still think Seer is probably the strongest third pick to have next to a Watson comp. Horizon could be very strong as well. For their World's Edge comp, I give them an A. So I'm going to say an A in total. The next category we're going to talk about is playstyle. I believe that they commit to their playstyle very hard. They're a zone team, so the #1 priority is to get into a good spot for zone. They prioritize that every time they're on rotation, so I'm going to give them an A for that too. Kind of a different category, but it's zone reading ability / spots they choose. I think Acend does a great job with understanding where zone is going to go and what the spot they play according to that zone. I haven't really seen them pick a spot and it ended up being like a wrong choice. They pick a spot because they have to, or they go pick the spot they want so they can win the game. I'm actually going to give them an S for that. Next category is rotations. I think that they do a good job of rotating around the map. I have never seen them get stuck crafting somewhere or make a bad decision rotating. I'm also going to give them an S for this one too. Next category is team fighting ability. I've never really known Acend to be a team fighting team. I think that's why they lean into the zone playstyle way more, because that's just where their strengths are at. They're notoriously not known for demolishing teams in 3v3s. I'm going to give them a C for this category. So this category is consistency, and I don't even really think I need to go over this one. They're clearly an S tier at their consistency. They commit to zone very hard and do whatever they need to do to win the game. They always get in game and play it out correctly. They're a very strong team in terms of consistency. This category is micro, and what micro is like your team comms, who to focus in fights, how well you adapt to scenarios. I would say this team's micro is good, but maybe not great. They seem to be all on the same page relatively often. They seem to adapt to situations well. I just didn't really get to see much of their team fighting. But with that being said, I would say their micro is about an A. So with all these taken into consideration, I would say Acend's overall rating is probably an A. They're a strong zone team. They have strong POIs, good comps from their POIs. They rotate very fast, Valkyrie on rotate. They prioritize getting in no matter what. This is a team that can be very strong on LAN. The way they play is very replicable, whether it's Pro League, a small tourney, or on LAN. I expect this team to do big things coming up this next LAN. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. I want to be making more videos like this, so it would be very encouraging to see people give some of their input. Thank you guys. Have a nice day.